paperboard, evening TV. Everywhere you look, there's a heart.
Tankers Fantasy Football, welcome back here. Week 6, we're going to give you some buy low, sell highs, some guys that you're even looking about cutting, and where we say go for it.
Yeah, some guys, it's just time. You're looking at him, you think that name, he has value because he's got a little name attached to him, but I just don't know. You just got to look at the rankings, look at the guys that are ranked by them and say, would you roster those guys? Because I don't think the answer is most likely no. All right, we're getting right into some buy lows at running back. We're going to lead it off with Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara.
You might be saying that's crazy.
These people, some of these Alvin Kamara owners might be, trying to be talked off the roof out there, though. He went out there, he got almost as many carries as Jason Hill. That is just gross action. Jason Hill got a goal line carry, got his ass into the end zone. That had to also kill the Alvin Kamara fucking owners out there. But you got to be thinking about it. If at any time to buy Alvin Kamara, you probably get still 85 cents on the dollar. You're probably not going to get him cheap as balls, but if any time in the season the owner is looking to actually shop him, I think now is the only time.
I feel like there's 3 things. I think you had Drew Brees trying to get his record. I think you had Melvin Ingram that they tried to get going, coming off the suspension. And 3 is just flat out rest. This guy is just ungodly barfing out touches the first few games of the season. They're going into their bye week.
He was averaging over 22 touches a game. They're going to need him for the run at the end of the season, hopefully into a playoff run for the Saints. They're going to need him to remain a little bit fresh. So I don't want, thinking he's going to get that 22 touches a game moving forward is probably a little bit delusional. But
I think he's still going to get you at least probably 15 to 18.
Yeah, especially if the Saints are behind in the second half, I expect them to just absolutely eat out there.
If we're looking at these running back situations, there's really only 2 or 3 guys I will really say are the elite RB1s. I think even with Ingram in the mix, this guy's at worst probably in that RB 6 to 8 overall range.
Yeah, no way around it. I think there's only a handful of guys you can guarantee out there, talking about your Gurleys, your Melvin Gordon.
I think McCaffrey.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley. You got one more guy.
Zeke.
Maybe Zeke because the Cowboys' offense is horseshit terrible. But
and Connor for the next 2 weeks, but after that, who knows?
Zeke got 7 dump offs in this game, and I know he only got 7 dump offs for 5 yards out there. But if you're in a full point PPR, that is still 7 gimme points.
Maybe happy.
Just gimme points out there.
A guy buy low on. There's whispers in the dark talking about a reunion in Philadelphia, McCoy, and I don't see why this isn't a good on both sides. When we're talking about the Bills, they're in a rebuilding stage. They don't need a 30-some-year-old back. And you got Philadelphia. Ajayi somehow plays a whole half with a torn ACL and doesn't let anyone know.
The Eagles have shown a willingness to trade for running backs mid-season because they traded for Ajayi last year. When they traded for Ajayi last year, word is that they inquired about McCoy as well at the same time. So, if talks get serious out there, I think if you have to buy him before he's an Eagle. He's probably a wait and see. The Eagles have a week 9 bye, so I don't think he'd be a full, sexy, all-in, RB2 until probably week 10 out there. So if you can get him and stash him on your bench for a solid end stretch into the fantasy playoff run, I think that is something to look into. Especially if the owner in your league is not aware of the possibility that he becomes a Philadelphia Eagle.
That's the only way right now you're probably going to get it.
Yeah.
But if no one knows, get up on it. Wow. Another guy talking about Jordan Howard, talking about the Bears losing their minds, and what does Jordan Howard get out of it? Nothing.
The owners had to be down in the dumps. They went out there and scored over 40 points. Jordan Howard did not eat at all. They went into the bye, so they had 2 weeks to stew about that week 4 shit fest. So you can probably go out there and get him fairly cheap, and I think there is brighter days ahead for Jordan Howard, especially when the weather gets cold, baby.
I don't see how Jordan Howard is anything worse than a volume RB2.
Yeah, the RB2 has just been kind of a wasteland thus far this season. Bunch of dick bums out there you can't trust me. RB2 landscape includes guys like
Alex
Adrian
Collins?
Peterson, who was dislocated shoulder.
Bucky Allen?
Yeah. Unsustainable guys getting like 2.8 yards a carry and like under 6 yard of reception, but somehow, some way,
And not to
still
mention
getting the
looking worse
work.
than
I
Alex
mean,
Collins
my
and still
goodness.
steals all of his action.
My goodness, there's no reason to believe that Jordan Howard can't finish the season higher than guys like Buck Allen. That is gross. All right, Aaron Jones. Everybody who was on the hype train last week, all in start. People were all excited about Aaron Jones. He just went out there and dropped like a 7 PPR burger all over you. And they probably, maybe they're on full tilt. They're like, man, maybe this guy isn't worth a starting roster spot. So I think you can go out there and get him pretty fucking cheap right now. And probably worth a flex look moving forward.
All right, let's talk about some sell highs here. I think a guy seems like he's a sell high every year after talking a blow up game. You got to go with the Crow. I mean, this team rushed for like 300 yards, 500 yards of offense.
Crow had like 220 yards of rushing. I mean, out
broke off
of
2
this
long ones.
World. I think if somebody's willing to pay full in, high end RB2 price for you, I think you have to sell the Crow instantly. Maybe you're a wide receiver needy team. You got Crow on the bench. You're sick of deciding whether to plug him in or sit him because he's kind of the Amari Cooper. He's kind of Amari Cooper out there. He is. Like, you'll have
one game and you think he's back.
He had 2 fantasy points in week 4. All
right, how about this? What
he
do you think
blew it up
about
week 3 with the 2 touchdowns, 2 points, and went out there 200 yards rushing in week 5. You never know what the fuck.
All right, say you're a Crow owner. Would you sell him to Yeldon?
Oh.
Would you trade Yeldon?
Trade Yeldon to get Crow?
No, I'm saying if you're Crow and getting Yeldon.
I think I mean, you never know when Fournette's coming back, but I mean, as far as starting Yeldon over Crow, all in on that.
Right.
That's hands down.
I mean, I feel like Yeldon at this point's a back end RB1 until Fournette's back.
Until further notice, Yeldon. I mean, Corey Grant's gone. They're
Grant's
bringing
on IR.
They're digging up the remains of. They're digging up the remains of Jamal Charles and resurrected him out there, pretending like they did something. But I don't think there's anything to see with
No.
that. I think
he's pretty much an emergency measure unless something happens to Yeldon until Fournette gets back.
As soon as Fournette gets back, I expect Jamal
It might
Charles
be more of
cut.
a 2-week contract.
Yeah. Oh, right.
What about a guy like Drake in Miami? You gonna hold on to him or are you gonna sell high?
I think if you can sell him, I mean, he still only got 6 carries, like Gore's 12 out there. He had the 11 targets, but I don't think 11. I think that's more of like the exception to the rule than like a foretelling of things to come. I do not think it's a foretelling of things to come for him to continue to get that many targets a game. I mean, if Gore is still going to be out carrying him in the backfield, I think he's a RB3 still moving forward. If you can get that RB2 price, I'd be all in on it.
I mean, if you can get the round 4 or even like 5 draft price that you got him at, if you can return that value, I would say ship him.
Oh, instantly, yeah, instantly.
All right, let's talk about some receivers here. Buy low. I'll tell you what, I absolutely love this guy. We're talking the wide receiver 24 currently, and Jarvis Landry. Look at this upcoming schedule.
Oh, it's sexy. Juicy.
You got the Chargers,
Are you
29th in points allowed against wide receivers. The Bucks 31st. The Steelers 28th. You get Kansas City. Then you get the 26th ranked Falcons.
Tasty jam.
I mean, that's 5-6
Kansas City
games
aren't
right
ranked.
there.
Kansas City isn't ranked bad, but the Browns are going to have to sling it versus the Chiefs, so that's why it's also a 6-matchup.
And I think it is a little skewed since he did have some teams out there that didn't have that great of wide receiver cores against him. But this guy's floor currently, his low water mark is like 12 PPR points on the year. He hasn't gone much over 20, but this schedule here, I don't see how he gets anything less than 15 in any of these games.
Oh, definitely not. Another guy who's got under 12 PPR points the last 2 games. Talking about Michael Thomas. This is kind of a guy like Alvin Kamara's situation. Probably still have to pay that 85 to 90 cents on the dollar. But if there's any time that his owner is ever going to move him, I think now is the time to pounce. Coming off a big game by Drew Brees where Michael Thomas was kind of just like forgotten about out there.
Yeah, maybe another guy who started the year off just absolutely blowing it up. but has really been limited. Last couple games, talking to a guy like Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's had 3 straight games under 15 points. Jalen Ramsey really did keep it under control with him. I mean, how many times can you're talking about 50, 60 routes. How many times can you say that a defensive back loses the matchup?
Yeah, if you're ever going to keep the wraps on him, I think Ramsey did. I mean, I just think this offense is still very, extremely explosive. I think Tyreek Hill will get his 50-yard touchdown moving forward. I think 3 games under 15. I think people might be viewing him more as a wide receiver 2 right now, but I still consider him as a back-end wide receiver 1 all day. All right, we got John Brown. We started off the season pretty hot. Last week got you like 9.8 PPR points, but that's not really what I'm looking at because he got 14 targets last week. I mean, if he's going to continue to get these double digits looks like he has been, these air yards are through the roof. He's getting he has over 200 air yards in 3 of his 5 games. I mean, that is sexy deluxe. I mean, if he can start connecting on a couple more of these per game, I think he can still maintain his back-end wide receiver 2 action for you out there. So I think if you can go out there and buy John Brown, people are all out there, man. John Brown is who we thought he was or whatever the fuck, because he only got you his first game in single digits. But I am a believer in the John Brown.
All right, another guy I'm in love with, 25th ranked wide receiver, Keenan Allen. The volume is still there, people. He's only found the end zone 1 time. But you saw last year, I mean, this guy, once he finds the end zone, there's no stopping him. He started off last year, too, not really finding the end zone, and then he just went on a tear. This guy's seen at least 10 targets a game.
Yeah, he's had a couple games where he had 7 targets or so. But Keenan Allen, people drafted him to be their wide receiver 1. He's kind of been more of that back-end wide receiver 2, as you said, with that 25th PPR ranking. But I think there's greener grasses in front for the Keenan
Allen.
Allen.
There's really been other wide receiver that's been taking his spot. It's mostly been getting sniped in the red zone from guys like Gordon.
Gordon and Eckler have a combined 6 receiving touchdowns to Keenan Allen's 1. I think that's going to revert more to the means and moving forward in the season, and Keenan Allen's going to start getting those 10, 15-yard touchdowns instead of some of these running backs out there.
How about one more here with a little Tyler Boyd? I think this guy's really coming into his own here.
Yeah, we got you 8 PPR points last week, so if any, people might think maybe he turned back into a pumpkin. I'm not a believer because Tyler Eifert is still going to be out for this season, and John Ross is nursing an injury right now. So all in on the Tyler Boyd. I think the Red Rifle is going to be able to keep it steady this season. He still had the 7 targets even in that letdown week last week. So I don't know for any reason why Tyler Boyd can't continue to be at least a very sexy flex play for you.
All right, how about some sell highs at wide receivers? I think a guy that you drafted, you felt good about, a high ceiling pick, rookie quarterback, likes to sling it. We really only has had 1 catch, 1 play before this past game here.
I haven't cut him in one of the leagues I own.
We're talking Robbie Anderson, 2 deep touchdowns here. You think he's going to sustain it, or you think that's a sell?
I think it's a sell. I think he might have, a couple more games like this throughout the season, but it's going to be so hard.
What are you talking about, meat in the cage?
Yeah. Yeah, you see that shit? He's talking about, I'm a lion, just waiting for him to throw some meat in my cage. And I was like, fuck, man, maybe I should start you, Robbie. I guess I should have, because he blew the fuck up out there. I was like, man, motherfucker's talking about eating meat in cages. Fucking rooting hog, and I'm thinking about fucking running him out there. But moving forward, I know if Sam Darnold, maybe his balls have dropped out there, maybe he's not afraid anymore. Maybe he's going to fucking summon that inner Josh McCown and just start clanging and banging downfield to one of the best deep threats in the NFL and Robbie Anderson. But like I said, I think this is going to be very hit or miss. I think he's best ball sexy deluxe.
Yeah, it's a dicey play.
It's
a classic boom bust guy.
Yeah, he could go out there and get you 3 points. He can go out there and get you 33 points. You don't really fucking know with Robbie Anderson. It's going to be matchup. I think he plays the Colts this week.
Which is a good matchup.
That secondary's ravaged. I think if you're looking to chase points, I think this might not be that bad.
I think the Jets are going to be doing a lot of losing, so I think they're going to have to be throwing the ball.
And Quincy Enunwa's, had some kind of cast on his
0
hand.
points.
Had some kind of cast on his hand too. 2 terrible drops. Maybe moving forward, maybe that hand's going to be more of a thing. Like maybe, Sam Darnold can start hucking and chucking down. I mean, the thing is, when Robbie Anderson had that 3 catches for that 120 yards and those 2 touchdowns, Sam Darnold only had 5 completions in the game. So he was like 5 for 14 at the time. With that's another scary little telltale sign right there. He was like 5 for 14 at the time with the 3 to Robbie for the 120 and the 2. But
Well, was it Josh Rosen threw for like 150 yards on the game, and his first play from scrimmage went for 70. So you're talking the rest of the game. His first throw,
That's
70.
That's some
the
Dak Prescott shit.
The rest
when
of
you
the
cooked it up
game,
with
80
Tavon.
yards.
That's some Tavon Austin. I think it was week 3. Remember
Tavon
that first play of
Austin,
the game?
such bad hands.
Oh,
That
he's
interception
trash.
that Prescott had literally right through his hand. That was a perfectly thrown ball.
Oh my goodness, Tavon Austin.
All right, Sell High Garbage Time Deluxe D-Train.
I think you gotta. I fucking put him on the golden shovel list last week, but of course, when I put motherfuckers on the golden shovel list, they have to try to
Garbage
go out there and make me
touchdowns.
look like a fucking dipshit or something. But I'm fucking saying no way. I think that has illusions of grandeur. He had the last play of the game. He had like a 48-yard touchdown. It was kind of like a gimme fucking type of Hail Mary type of situation where he just kind of happened to catch the ball and fucking tiptoe his fucking ass into the end zone. He got over half of his points on that last play of the game. I think this is an ultimate sell high from the Mary's time. I think if anybody's gonna, I think this is the biggest sell high of the week.
This is a guy that his ceiling just flat out isn't there anyway. So anytime he goes over 20, you're thinking, give me
You
the
gotta
value
move
I
him.
can.
This is gonna be his only game over 20 this year. Boom. He's gonna, he'd probably put 20 this
30
week.
next
Fuck
week.
me over. Yeah, fuck me. Here we go.
Well, Case Keenum this week at his first passing touchdown since week 1.
Yeah. See, that's another problem. See, these things, you gotta fucking move them out there. You just can't. You got, you think you drafted him and you're like out there and you're thinking, oh, this guy is who I thought he was. He finally turned into who I thought he was gonna be. I'm gonna hold on to him. Well, don't do that. Sell him for whatever the fuck you can get out of him. Because last week you couldn't have got a fucking 6-pack of Natty Ice for him. Last week he was in the fucking shit dumpster fucking waiver wire fucking situation. And he's back on top. That's when you gotta move him.
Dude, off topic, but I was in Minocqua, Wisconsin earlier this summer. They had a 12-rack of Milwaukee's Best for $3.99.
Yeah. I'll get you drunk. Milwaukee's, dude, that reminds me. When we went up to a show in Wisconsin, I think it was like a Humphreys McGee or a Mo show. I can't fucking remember, it was so long ago. But we go up there and I was like 17 with we still have fucking like chaperones or whatever. The fucking my friend's mom was with us. I just let him walk in front of me. I saw a guy selling beers over there, so I let him walk in front of me. I went there, I bought 3 Milwaukee Best ices and shotgunned the piss out of him. 3 fucking Milwaukee Best ices, like 3 for $5. He ripped me off blind. I don't give a fuck. Shotgunned the piss out of him right in front of me. He was just like, Jesus Christ, kid. I was like, get a little busky on for the show, brother. Jesus Christ, kid.
Milwaukee's Best Ice? Oh, man.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking walk. I couldn't catch up to him with beers.
I mean, that's a
fucking had
bad
to put him
beer, let alone
over.
the ice. Man.
Oh, that was rough. Did some spitting on my way back to them. I don't like the spits.
All right, one more sell high. How about your boy Robert Woods here?
I don't know. I think he's a hold. I think he's a hold.
You think so?
I like the Robert Woods. He's one of them sneaky fucks. Like, you drafted him, you drafted James White, you win leagues. It's fucked up. It's one of those types of guys. You
Yeah,
have James White, you draft Robert Woods, you win
I
money.
mean, Robert Woods at the end of the year is like the 23rd ranked wide receiver, and you put him in your flex every week, and he goes out
You feel
and
great
gets
about
18
it.
points.
It's amazing. Incredible. Wish I owned him.
I have 0 stock.
I have 0 James White or Robert Wood stock. I
I've
fucking
got
hate
1
my
James
fucking
White.
life for it every day. I hate him.
All right, gonna get to some sections here talking about.
Do we cut
Do
him?
you hold on to him, or you just say forget
Selling
everything?
this shit.
What
I
is
mean-
life? And just get rid of him.
I mean, you're looking at Larry Fitzgerald, and like we said earlier, he's like what, ranked like the 71st wide receiver.
It's terrible. I mean, you drafted this guy in like the 3rd, 4th, maybe snuck into the 5th round. You're saying this guy is like borderline wide receiver 1, top shelf wide receiver 2. This guy's been terrible. I mean, the quarterback situation's been bad, but injuries have plagued him, and it's just flat out targets aren't there.
No. I loaded up one of my leagues. I just said Larry Fitzgerald is the 71st ranked PPR wide receiver. I loaded up one of my waiver wire lists in one of my leagues. The top available wide receiver is Willie Snead, who is the 47th ranked wide receiver. So we're talking about 24 spots as Willie Snead.
And this guy's probably rostered in how many?
Willie Snead is rostered in 23% of leagues.
And I bet Fitzgerald's at least 70 to 80.
Let's find it out. We're going to fucking get right to the bottom of
I
this.
bet Fitzgerald is probably 78% owned.
84. 84% owned. And look at him. Who's ranked above? You know who's ranked above Larry Fitzgerald? Tavon Austin.
No.
Tavon Austin.
Tell me it's not true.
Oh, it's so true. Oh, look at
Treadwell.
bathing it.
Treadwell.
Oh,
Cordell Patterson.
read them off.
Cole Beasley. Talk about how bad Chris Hogan been. Chris Hogan's way better than him.
Oh, Trent. Oh, look at Taywan Taylor's better than him. Oh, Paul Richardson. Oh, Terrell Pryor.
Let's talk about
Pryor better than him? Oh no, 3 worse than him. Right in the ballpark. How many points will back is he? Oh, Terrell Pryor. Oh.
We're talking like 2 points back.
2 points, 1.8 points back is Terrell Pryor. I think it's time to.
We're talking Martavius Bryant's 4 points behind Fitzgerald. This guy was cut earlier in the year.
Is it time to show him the rabbits? I think it's time to think about
you think it's
the
career?
rabbits.
You think career?
I think it's career. I think it's time to think about them rabbits. You know what I'm saying, Larry? Time to take your university degree and move on from this shit show that is the Arizona Cardinals. Time to retire Vontae Davis style.
Talk about
Larry Fitzgerald's too honorable of a man for that.
He'll ride it out. Talk about a guy
Collect
always
them chicks.
I've always hated, and I don't think
Let's not
I've
forget
ever
about that
owned
part.
any stock of this guy in my career. We're talking Kelvin Benjamin.
Oh, we're talking about.
This guy's
about.
almost outside the top 100 ranked wide
He
receivers.
is. We're talking about the 93rd ranked wide receiver. Oh, we're talking about some dude named Switzer from the Steelers. Has more. That little white, isn't that white guy? A little squirrely
Yeah, they
guy?
traded for him earlier. He's looked all right.
Yeah,
but
I'm better than Kelvin Benjamin, apparently.
what was Benjamin saying? I'm used to having 300 yards and a couple
he's
touchdowns
just-
by
yeah.
now.
He's bitching about Cam, and then he's talking about fucking yesteryear. What the fuck? Well, what do you want, buddy? Oh my goodness!
What
What else we
about-
got
what
on
about-
this shit?
what about a-
We
what
got.
about a-
I mean, if
What about
we're
Derrick
showing,
Henry here?
if we're showing the rabbits, Kelvin Benjamin's got to see them rabbits.
What about Derrick Henry? You holding on to him, or you think he's dead?
Oh, he's dead.
Rest
Look,
in peace.
He has one.
Bury
He
him.
has one game over 6 PPR points.
And he's touching the ball.
Yeah, back-to-back games, he had 18 carries. I mean, I'm
He's had it-
sorry. If you can't get it over with 18 carries...
He's had over 10 touches in every single game this season.
There's like, 3 catches on the season, and they tried
Averaging-
to throw to him this last week, and he didn't even look. Like, the ball just, fucking...
He's
He
averaging
didn't even look.
5 PPR points. That
He's
is
a
nothing.
fucking bum. Show him the rabbits.
All right, now this is a toughie here.
I mean, in Dynasty, Derrick Henry's a hold.
Sell.
Nah, you can't sell him.
Sell him for
In
Corey
Dynasty,
Grant.
you gotta hold Derrick Henry and
Sell
just
him.
hope for the best, but...
Sell him for guys on IR.
They're
right now.
Alabama running backs, man. They just don't do it for you.
Mark Ingram, besides him,
And it took him a long time.
It did.
He
I mean,
a
it was
bust.
injuries,
He was
though.
yeah.
I mean, Yeldon was an
Mark
Alabama
Ingram
guy.
fine-wined it out there. He got better with age, but
We
these
look at
other Trent Richardson, my God.
I mean, we've all seen the picture of the hole. We're talking 8 feet wide, and Trent Richardson doesn't follow that hole.
That's disgusting. All right,
This
who
is a
do I got?
toughie. Last one. Hold or you cutting? Doug Baldwin.
I think he hold them. I mean, the problem is, like, the Seahawks are only throwing the ball like 43% of the time. It's like the lowest amount in the NFL. So that's the problem.
Barely threw the ball 20
21
times
pass
last
attempts
week.
in a shootout. 33 to 31 game, you only throw it 21 times? How is that even like a thing?
And he played the same amount of
I don't
snaps.
understand
Is
it.
the crazy part.
Oh, he was blocking? He blocked on like 30 fucking plays or something? So his knee must not be a problem if they're expecting him
No,
to
he wasn't
block.
even on the injury report. On their final injury report, they didn't even list him on
I think
it.
he's a buy low. I think he can get him for pennies on the dollar. I think people are probably giving up on him like we're Larry Fitzgerald. And I don't think it's that bad because Russell Wilson and Doug Baldwin have a strong rapport together.
And I
so.
feel like they always heat up at the end of the year anyway.
Yeah, they just need to start letting Russell run around a little bit more like they used to. They've been really limited on that. I'm forced to start him this week in a league because Breeze is on bye, and he's like the 19th or 20th ranked quarterback. And I'm kind of afraid. He is playing the Raiders though, so that's helping. That helps me out a little bit. All right, that's all we got. I think so.
There it is. Once again, thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, or even if you didn't like what you saw, give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, give it a thumbs up,
Leave a
thumbs
comment.
down, whatever you want.
Let us know. Ask all your questions. We love listening to you guys.
Yeah, we will get back to you in the comment section. Give us a share, give us a subscribe, hit that bell for all notifications. We are now on the iTunes out there, so you can listen to us on your commutes to and from work, baby. So
during
get up
work.
on that. Yeah, fine.
Thank you very much for watching. Good luck this week. We'll see you next time.
Cheeseburger.